It was a pleasure to burn, or so Guy Montag believes at the start of Ray Bradbury's Fahrenheit 451. In my case, it was a pleasure to reread this book, and I have to admit, the older I get, the more relevant this book becomes, despite the fact that it celebrates its 65th anniversary in 2018. Guy Montag is a fireman of the future. He and his team burn books and set fire to the possessions of those citizens hiding books. The calls always come at night, and the spectacle of living fire mixed with the charcoal remains of history draw onlookers from all around. He does his job, and he doesn't ask questions. He loves it. He thinks. One night, as he's returning home from the fire station, Montag encounters Clarice McClellan, his unusual 16-year-old neighbor, who manages to burn his life to the ground with a single question. Are you happy? What does it mean to be happy in an age of distraction? Can we be happy if we refuse to dip below the surface of our thoughts and emotions? If we isolate ourselves with technology, how can we create meaningful relationships with the people around us? If we only focus on our own fun and entertainment and refuse to challenge ourselves and question our view of the world, can we even say we're still alive anymore? Fahrenheit 451 is a mere 150 pages, and Bradbury covers all of these topics and more, and I love the fact that this book is still sparking these discussions almost 65 years later. I never read Fahrenheit 451 in school, and I wonder how I might have reacted to it had I read it as a teenager. I think it may have fallen into the same camp as 1984, which totally blew my mind at 16. Most people tend to think of Fahrenheit 451 as the book about censorship, or the book about book burning, and while both of those are true to a degree, Bradbury actually points to the real danger of distraction. There's the iconic moment where Montag finds himself on the train, desperately trying to memorize the Book of Revelation, and he can't hear himself think over the sound of the Denham's dentifrice jingle blaring through the train. He's been conditioned to think at such a shallow level, he doesn't even understand what he's reading. He's just trying to memorize as much as possible before the book can be taken and burned. But his own environment is breaking down his ability to think. We see it in the technology that Mildred, Montag's wife, loves to use. She's the one with the fabulous TV parlor where she sits and listens to the family scream at her, even though she doesn't know what they're screaming about. She also uses seashells, which sound a lot like earbuds, to listen to the buzz of voices and music instead of sleeping. I used to think Bradbury was so harsh in his depiction of Mildred and most of the women in the novel, mostly because they represent the willfully ignorant. They're the ones who don't want to think and don't want to be enlightened and just want to have fun. And yet I had totally forgotten about one moment, and I'm so glad I reread this. When we first meet Mildred, she's overdosed on sleeping pills, and Montag has to call some people to pump her stomach and give her a blood transfusion. She never mentions this episode to him afterwards. The following week, Montag pretends to be sick in order to avoid going to work, and Mildred's upset because he's breaking his routine. He yells at her and says, "How long is it since you were really bothered about something important, about something real?" This is the moment I forgot. He realizes there's a Mildred somewhere inside of her who's deeply bothered and knows there's something horribly wrong with the world. But her voice has withered and her thoughts have been tamped down for so long that she doesn't even know they exist. But her love for technology and entertainment masks the pain and allows her to disengage from those unwanted emotions. I don't know that I would have picked up on that as a teen, and I think I would have just hated Mildred outright, but I get her this time around. This is why I support rereading books. There's an academic in hiding called Faber in this book, and he summarizes things beautifully. It's not the books themselves that we need, but better quality information, the dedicated quiet time to sit and think about that information, and the right to carry out actions based on what's learned from the first two. In this world, the public chose to stop reading and chose to stop thinking, and the firemen are nothing more than the circus come to town. So BookTube, keep reading and keep talking about big ideas. We might save the world one day. Overall, I gave this reread 4 to 5 stars. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up to support this channel. As always, thank you for watching, and make sure to subscribe for more videos from across the Literverse. On that note, signing off. There's the iconic moment when Montag is sitting on the train